In a forgotten corner of the kingdom of Vernell stood a castle hidden under eternal clouds. Once, it had been the most beautiful palace in the realm. Now, ivy choked its walls, the gates rusted shut, and the villagers who wandered too close swore they heard growls echoing through the mist. Inside, a creature, half man, half beast, lived in bitter solitude, haunted by his past and by a single wilting rose locked inside a glass dome. Far away, in a small provincial town, lived Belle, a 19-year-old girl who had grown weary of small-minded gossip and predictable routines. Her father, Maurice, was an inventor, brilliant but absent-minded, and the townsfolk called him mad. Belle, however, adored his creativity and shared his curiosity. Her world was books, dreams, and the longing for something more than this provincial life.
The sun is bright, the bells all chime. The baker's boy shouts out it's time. The cobblestone streets all come alive, but I feel dreams inside me thrive. They smile, they wave, they go their way. Same faces, same old day by day. But in my heart there's something new, a world beyond this village view. Every page I find a gleam of towers tall and oceans wide, of love and stars I've yet to find. They call me strange, they call me odd, but I just smile and thank the gods for stories that my heart can see. Someday they'll all come true. Chance someday I'll find my own romance, for deep inside I know it's true. Something more is waiting to. Someday I'll find my story's kiss. Something more than
One morning, Maurice set off to deliver one of his inventions to a merchant in the city. Before he left, Belle asked him to bring back a single red rose.
Not jewels, not silk, just a single red rose.
I promise, my dear.
He promised her, not knowing how fateful that request would be. A storm rolled in as Maurice traveled. Lost in freezing, he stumbled upon the hidden gates of the beast's castle. The grand doors creaked open as if by unseen hands. Desperate for warmth, he entered. The castle seemed alive. Whispers in the hallways, flickers of candlelight that moved like living things. He found a table laden with food, though no host appeared. He ate, thanked the shadows, and before leaving, spotted a garden glowing faintly under the moon. There, he saw a single rose bush in bloom, Remembering Belle's wish, he plucked one. A roar split the air. From the darkness, a towering creature emerged, fur like midnight, eyes golden and burning with rage.
You steal from me and call it kindness? Please, forgive me.
Maurice begged forgiveness, explaining the rose was for his daughter. The beast's anger faltered, but the old law of his curse bound him to keep the thief prisoner forever. Yet, he offered a cruel mercy.
If your daughter comes willingly take your place, you may go free.
Worried for her father, Belle set out to search for him. She rode through the dark, whispering forest, where branches clawed at her path and glowing eyes peeked from the shadows. Her lantern swayed gently in her hand, casting warm golden light that danced through the mist. At last, she reached the castle gates, which creaked open on their own, revealing a long, echoing hallway lined with stone walls and flickering torches. With her heart pounding, Belle stepped inside, her footsteps soft and cautious. Then, from the far end of the corridor, she heard a faint, trembling cry, her father's voice. Just then, a deep, rumbling voice echoed through the hall. The beast emerged from the shadows and said, "If you want your father, you must stay here, forever." Without hesitation, she took his place. The beast, surprised by her courage, agreed to let Maurice go. The enchanted servants watched silently, hoping she was the one to break the spell. Days turned into weeks. At first, Belle and the beast lived as strangers. He was quick-tempered, lonely, and ashamed of his monstrous form. She was curious but cautious, unable to look past his roughness. Yet the castle intrigued her, the talking candelabra Lumiere, the fussy clock Cogsworth, and the gentle teapot Mrs. Potts, who told her, "He's not what he seems, dear." One night, Belle wandered into the forbidden West Wing. There, under shattered portraits and torn curtains, she found the rose glowing inside its glass dome. As she reached out, the beast appeared, furious. "Do you understand nothing?" he roared. "Get out!" Terrified, she fled into the storm. Wolves surrounded her in the forest, and just as they lunged, the beast appeared, fighting them off, despite deep wounds. Belle brought him back to the castle, tending to his injuries. It was the first time she saw fear, not anger, in his eyes. From that night on, something shifted. They began talking, not as captor and captive, but as two lonely souls bound by circumstance. He showed her his library, endless shelves of stories and maps. She read aloud while he listened, often smiling quietly, as if remembering what it felt like to be human. He told her about the curse. Once he had been a vain prince, cruel to the poor and selfish to those in need. One winter night, an enchantress disguised as a beggar offered him a single rose in exchange for shelter. He mocked her and turned her away. She revealed her true form and cursed him, turning him into a beast and all his servants into living objects. Only if he could learn to love and be loved in return before the last petal fell would the curse break. Belle listened in silence. For the first time, she saw him not as a monster, but as a man who carried his own pain. Their days became gentler. They shared meals, laughter, and quiet moments in the garden. Slowly, Belle's laughter began to echo through the castle's empty halls, and the beast began to hope.
Story old as stars, gentle as can be, hardly even friends, then the moment bends unexpectedly. Just a little turn, soft for hearts to see, both a little shy, neither knowing why love begins to be. Always feels the same. never sweet before, ever even more like the morning skies. Story old as stars, song as bright as gold, bittersweet and warm, hearts begin to form, love that can't be told. Certain as the sun rising through the east, story old as stars, song from near and far, beauty and the whole.
Back in the village, rumors spread. Belle's absence stirred fear, and the arrogant hunter Gaston, obsessed with marrying her, rallied the townsfolk to find and rescue her from the monster. When Maurice tried to explain that the beast was real but not evil, they called him mad and locked him away. In the castle, the beast saw Belle's sadness as she gazed through the magic mirror he gave her, a mirror that could show her anything she wished. She saw her father, sick. Without hesitation, the beast released her. He said softly, "Go to him. You're no prisoner here." Belle hesitated, torn between gratitude and heartbreak. "But if I leave," she began. "Then I'll always have had the memory of your smile," he replied. She returned home, freed her father, and told the villagers of the beast's kindness. But Gaston twisted her story, declaring that the monster had bewitched her. "He's dangerous. He'll come for us next." The mob marched to the castle with torches and weapons. Belle raced after them, but by the time she arrived, the castle was under attack. The enchanted servants fought bravely to defend their home.
As you wish, mon ami. We give them the works.
Take that, you ruffian! Goodness, watch where you're going! Oh dear, that's smart. Have some fire, sacre bleu!
Right in the face, clumsy oaf.
Burns, doesn't it? You will not have her, beast! I will destroy you! Stop! Please stop!
Gaston found the beast on the balcony and attacked him mercilessly. The beast refused to fight until Belle appeared, crying out his name. Seeing her, he found strength to defend himself, but refused to kill Gaston. "I'm not that creature anymore," he said, stepping back. Gaston, in his rage, struck again, but slipped and fell from the tower into the mist below. The beast fell down. Belle knelt beside him, holding his face. "You came back," he whispered. She nodded, tears falling onto his fur. "I couldn't let you hurt you." As the last petal fell, he closed his eyes. The castle trembled. Belle, sobbing, whispered, "Please don't leave me. I love you." A light burst through the air, brilliant, blinding, and warm. The beast's body lifted, fur shedding like mist, revealing the prince beneath. The castle glowed, transforming back to its former beauty. The servants regained their human forms, crying with joy. The prince looked at Belle with the same eyes she had come to love, kind, golden, human.
You broke the curse.
Spring returned to Vernel. Belle and the prince reopened the castle to the villagers, welcoming them not as rulers but as friends. The library became a place of learning for all. Maurice continued inventing, happier than ever. And Belle, though she wore no crown, became known as the princess who taught a kingdom that beauty is not found in mirrors or crowns, but in the courage to love beyond appearances. On the balcony, the prince placed a single red rose in a crystal vase, the last remnant of the curse, now a symbol of their story. "It began with a rose," Belle said, smiling. "And it ends with one too."
Subscribe now, and let's travel through more fairy tales together.